A warning before you listen.
What you are about to hear is not meant for children, nor for the faint of heart. This is an unfiltered retelling of ancient myths, told as they were born, raw, violent, unsoftened. Expect scenes of brutality, curses that linger, betrayals that reshape fate, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. These myths were never meant to lull children to sleep. They were forged in blood, shadow, and fire. So ask yourself, are you ready to hear them as they were first told? Sources and references can be found in the episode description.
Chapter 11. From the Epic, the Uprising, from the cave to the edge of war. The one-eyed thunder, from the rise, from the cave to the edge of war, when the gods shattered. Before the Unbroken One, after the palace vomited out what it had devoured for centuries, silence did not fall, it stood tall, like an axe held high above every neck. No throne bore a name, no stone stayed firm beneath a ruler's feet. The hall that once breathed tyranny now choked on ancient fear, and a voice they had never heard before. Zeus. He stood among them, not as a brother, not as a foe, but as something that had not been born of their womb, nor expelled with them from Cronos's gut. Something that resembled regret, yet never once begged for forgiveness. Hades spoke first, his voice like a tomb left open too long. Who are you? From what crack did you crawl? You fought our sister. Have you come to finish what the tyrant began? Zeus replied without raising his eyes. I am Zeus, the one who was never swallowed. Poseidon let out a bitter laugh, then growled, Never swallowed? Then you have no voice here. We were the ones crushed in his gut. We were suffocated by Cronos's breath.
And you crawled from nothing and claimed dominion over us? Zeus didn't respond. He didn't flinch, but the air around him folded in, as if the room itself understood what was left unspoken. Hera spoke next, her voice cracked with milk that had never been drawn.
Blood isn't enough to make you one of us. You were never imprisoned, never defiled, never broken. What face do you wear to lead us? A face without scars doesn't get followed.
And then the earth replied. The doors of the hall swung open. Rhea entered, hair undone by urgency, chest rising like she had chased death itself, and in her eyes, time ran, weeping. She stood at the center, not before them, but before herself. She looked at her children, 5 faces, all of her flesh, but not one truly knew the other. She spoke, her voice like a prayer to forgotten gods. I bore you to be a mother, and became a witness to your burial. I buried you in a womb that would not stop feeding, and I stayed silent, not because I betrayed you, but because I didn't know how to save one of you without dying. Hestia lowered her gaze. Demeter cried, soundless. Only Hades closed his eyes, as if what he heard was worse than hell itself.
But Hera stepped forward. Your silence killed us. You were the face of life. How did we believe death? Rhea didn't defend. She stood bare. Because I was weaker than tyranny, and stronger than submission. Because I was a mother, and every mother fears losing what's left. Then she pointed to Zeus. This one wasn't swallowed because he couldn't be. Tyranny does not consume what resembles it. It devours what trembles before it. But him, he never feared. He never ran. He never asked me. He is your savior, not because he is your brother, but because he is the only one in this family who never broke. She turned to Hades. You dwell in shadows. But him, when shadows follow him,
they burn. To Poseidon, you scream at waves to obey you, but him, he stays silent, and the sky splits in terror. To Hera, you are born of rage, but his rage does not create, it erases the cosmos and redraws it from ash. She placed her hand on Zeus's chest. He deserves no throne because he is your kin. He deserves it because he is the only one not born of weakness, nor lust, nor vengeance, but of necessity. The need to end disgrace and begin thunder. Silence reigned, but it was not peace.
Hades stood still, like a statue waiting for its tomb. Poseidon stepped back like the sea retreating from battle. Hera raised her chin, not in forgiveness, but because there was no path left. No one cheered, no one objected, nothing was granted. Zeus walked to the wall. He wrote nothing. He merely looked at it, like a mirror, then said, "If you do not wish to be led, then try carving a path without thunder." He left them, no tears, no farewells, just a single moment that ended debate and began a new age. And the chapter ended, not in applause nor in submission, but in a quiet acceptance from gods who now knew that the throne may not belong to the one who demands it, but to the one whom even time itself fears.
This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.